So I know we've all been there. I know I've been there. You know, I love him,
Huh.
but I don't like him right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that okay?
Is it okay?
I don't know. We need to talk about it because I didn't talk to the people.
Yeah.
And this is what they say. I love him. I'm not feeling him.
And I can get it. I definitely can get it.
You don't ever feel that way though.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because it's normal.
Yeah. Alright guys, my name is Gleesy.
And I'm Al.
And here Forever I Do, y'all, we teach you how to brag.
Build relationships.
According to God.
Yes.
So, let me tell you, this is a very, very real feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like, I love my spouse. I love my partner. I love them with everything that I have. But sometimes, like, in this moment, I don't like them.
And sometimes that moment is an extended moment
Yeah.
where it's a period of time where you just don't vibe with them.
Yeah.
You're not feeling them. Like,
Yeah.
you can't get on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their energy is just not feeding your energy. And you
Mhm.
just like, man, like, what is going on? Like, I really just don't like them right
I
now.
know. Like, sometimes you can't put your finger on it. But I think we go through these ebbs and flows
Yes,
in your
absolutely.
relationship. And
Absolutely.
I think if you don't, then maybe that's not as normal, you know,
Yeah.
because you're having these conversations, you're growing, you're doing different things, you know, other things might try to take your priorities out of whack. So I think it's normal to go through these changes.
Yes. Every mountain has a valley. Like,
Mm.
you may go up the mountain and you may reach the pinnacle of whatever you're trying to achieve at that particular time in your marriage relationship. I mean, it could be kids. You feel like you
Yeah.
reached the pinnacle and maybe you just became empty nesters, or it could be careers. Like, you
Mhm.
reached the point where this is where you saw yourself. This is, now you can see it all from this point, career-wise, and you and your spouse have gotten there together. But now you're in a different season and you're going back down the mountain to head towards that new season, and you're in the valley, and sometimes it's hard to like the person in the valley seasons.
Yeah. But fret not, because one, it's okay.
Yes, it's okay.
Yes,
Like,
it is okay to feel that way.
absolutely, because this is the reality. Like and love are two different things.
Yeah.
When you're saying all those vows, I don't think like comes up. Like, I don't think like comes up.
I
Like,
promise to like you forever.
yeah, it doesn't come up because the reality is it will ebb and flow, but the love remains the same.
Yeah.
And you have to work to keep that intact. And you can get the feeling of like back, because that's what it is a feeling.
Yeah.
Like and love are two different things, because love is an action.
Mm-hmm.
You have to choose it every day.
Mm-hmm.
But like is an emotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I often say, like, emotions are a great thermometer, but they're a horrible thermostat.
What? Okay. Emotions are a great thermometer, but a
Yes.
horrible thermostat.
Yes.
Explain.
You know how the thermometer, like, when you want to know what your temperature is, when maybe you're not feeling your best, you pop that thermometer in and you try to gauge what your temperature is at that particular moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, at this moment, I'm not at my best. I'm not feeling well. That's what an emotion is.
Mm.
In that moment, your emotion could be up, it could be down, you could be feeling great, you could be feeling a little bit bad, but your emotion should not determine the temperature for the whole house.
Mm.
The thermostat is what sets the temperature. If it's cold outside, you set your thermostat to make it warm for everybody in the home.
Okay.
If you try to use a thermometer to determine the temperature for the whole home, like, it just won't work.
Yeah.
The same goes for your emotions. Your emotions cannot determine the temperature for your whole home. Is a great indicator of how you feel in that moment,
Yeah.
but how you feel in that moment shouldn't dictate how a lifetime is lived or how a season is lived inside of your home.
Yeah. That's
Again,
good.
validate it. Again, check it. And even go to your spouse and make sure that, you know what, I'm just not at my best. This is how I'm feeling at this moment. But don't let that dictate the rest of your life or the rest of your marriage or the rest of that season or the rest of that month. Because again, it's not a thermostat. It's not meant to set the temperature for how everybody operates in the home.
Yeah, and I like what you said, acknowledge it. You know, like you have to acknowledge that you're having these feelings. And you should include your spouse on that because, you know, that's the person that you're having the, you know, the kind of riffraff with. So you want to make sure that you're talking to your spouse because 9 times out of 10, they probably feeling it as well.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So with that being said, it's important that you don't run from it. Like you have to go in, you have to embrace it, you have to confront it and deal with it.
Yes, because again, like just stand on this analogy for a minute. Like if you're not feeling well, if your spouse doesn't catch on, you're certainly going to tell them like, look, I'm not at my best or whatever. My temperature is this, my back hurt, my head hurt, migraine, whatever it may be. You're going to let them know. So why not let them know how you're feeling when it comes to your emotions?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, don't just expect them to pick up on it. Like, it's not time to run. It's not time to check out. It's not time to just say, well, they should just know.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to actually start having those conversations. It's time to figure out, why don't I like them right now?
Yeah. And, you know, you don't want to compare yourself by yourself.
Yes.
You know, it's important that... Well, go ahead and explain it.
Yeah. I mean, compare yourself by yourself is just kind of like, this is where we were, this is where we are now. Because we're not there anymore, like, then we're off. Like, the love is gone. Like, I'm in love with you, but I'm not in love with you anymore, or whatever. I can't remember how
That's how they say it.
I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
Yeah.
That is nothing but an emotion. Like, that is not real love. Real love doesn't ebb and flow like that. Like does, but not love. So don't compare yourself just to yourself. Don't compare where you used to be to where you are now and say, oh, this is over, this is done. But at the same time, also don't look at the dysfunctional relationships and say, like,
we're not like that.
Yeah, and compare yourself to that, and or even say, like, they're doing bad or whatever, or they're doing great, and we're not there, so we shouldn't be together. We shouldn't be married. Like, this what we're going through is so different than what I see them going through, because I see their highlight and our low light doesn't match their highlight, so we're obviously off.
Yeah.
Like, so something is wrong with us. Like, you can't compare yourself to yourself.
Yeah. And it's so important that you, even when you're looking at other people, because I do think that you should want to strive to be better and to grow and have relationships, you know, that you strive to be like. You know, you see a relationship that's thriving, but what you have to understand is they didn't start there. Yeah. That's not where they started. And they went through these ebbs and flows and these growth seasons, and this is where they are now. So you can't compare your now to their now, because you probably at 2 different places.
And that's why it's so important to have that marriage community, those healthy couples around you. Because if you sit down and you have a real conversation with these other couples, they're going to tell you that when you say, oh, I just really don't like them right now, I'm really just not feeling them, like we just not vibing, like we just can't seem to get on the same page, they're going to look you right in your face and say, okay, like, that's normal. We've been there before too. And that's why it's so important not to compare yourself to yourself and get around healthy couples, because they're going to validate what you're feeling, and they're going to help you navigate that season because they've been there too.
Yeah, that's important to understand that probably most of the things that you go through, somebody else has been there.
Absolutely.
And it's so important that you have that community so that you don't have to learn the hard way. You know, you can learn from or through somebody else's experiences.
Yes.
Yeah. And if, you know, it's just important to have that community. But what I want you to know is, even when you're feeling that way, you can get it back.
Yes.
You can get that, I like being around him, I like him. You can get that back. It just takes some work.
Yes. And if you don't understand those ebbs and flows, and if you don't have that healthy community, you will think that it's over, that you can't get it back, that you've gone too far down the road, and there's no turning back.
Yeah.
But that is not the truth.
Yeah.
And what they say in the word, the truth will set you free. Like, get around some healthy couples to let you know, sounds like you're in that valley season. If you're in that valley season and you head in the right direction, you will start to climb that mountain again.
That's so good.
You will start to get back to a place where you like the person you are around. You can see the love again, because that filter of dislike, or those scales of dislike, are now removed from your eyes, and you see the person for who God created them to be, and you realize that was just a growth season. You were growing differently, but you were growing together.
Yeah. And like one thing that could be really, really hard when you don't like your spouse is keep serving. Keep doing what you feel as though God has called you to do. You know, so for instance, for us, like cooking dinner, that's like a way that I show my family that I care. Because you know my mom cook anyway. But I'm not going to say that, oh, I don't like you and I'm going to stop cooking. You know, I want to keep serving. I want to keep doing those things that I do to show love and appreciation.
Yeah. And just to rewind, that's how you set the thermostat in your home.
Yeah.
You set the thermostat in your home by continuing to serve in your home.
Yeah.
That sets the temperature. That sets the atmosphere. And that helps you get back to that place of life. That helps nurse you back to health, if you will. Just by continuing to serve. As you are serving and as you are giving, God is replenishing you for your responsibilities, for your calling, for your purpose. You have to keep serving, and that's how you actually get the feeling of light back. That's how you get yourself back to a healthy place. So when you pop that thermometer back in, the temperature has gone down. It's no longer too high, it's no longer too low. That's how you set the temperature in your house.
Yeah.
And that's what should be a consistent effort, a consistent energy to serve. You were called to serve your spouse, not to serve yourself, and not to serve your emotions.
Yeah, that's so good. And lean in. You know, those moments when you want to be by yourself or steal away, lean into those moments, you know, make conversation. Start small. It doesn't have to be this whole grand event, but start small. Those little things that you used to connect on, you know, bring those things up. Have those conversations, because it'll just keep building and building and building. And then you'll find yourself walking back up that mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you don't lean in, what you do is you put yourself in isolation. And in isolation, that's when the enemy gonna start whispering all things in your ear. That's when that coworker gonna come and say, I noticed this, that, and the other. I wouldn't do like that if I was with you, or if you were with me, or whatever. Like, that's when those negative guy friends or girlfriends or whatever it is, that community that you probably should have cut off a long time ago, will start getting in your ear and be like, I can't believe they did this, or why are you still with them then? Like you need to go out and take care of you. Like they'll start whispering all these things to you to get you further away from purpose, to get you further away from goal, and to get you further away from your spouse.
Yeah.
They will make sure that you stay in the valley, that you stay in isolation, and that you never actually join hands again and start walking back up that mountain, because they haven't seen it.
Yeah. And sometimes you just need a reset.
Yeah.
And what better way to do it than booking a brag session?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can book a brag session with us and allow us to help walk you through or navigate through these different seasons. Like we said, like we've been through a lot in our relationship, and we thought many times that it was over. And when we got in front of other couples that are healthy, we learned that this was a valley season, this was a growing season, this was a stretching season, and that it wasn't the end, but it was just the start of something new.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's no time when you're closer to purpose than when you're in the valley.
Ooh,
so again,
that's good.
Don't give up. Keep trudging uphill. You will reach the top again.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. You already know. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the video. As we go into the holidays, there might be a lot of, emotions. Make sure that you're sharing this, because this video could help somebody else, all right? We'll see you guys in our next video.
Hey, brag on it.